Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video showcase is on GoBot's Bug Bite. This is a commission made by Quentin Reviews. This started off as a non-transforming articulated GoBot's Bug Bite, hoping to be the same size as the Origins Bumblebee. Now he is, with the gun on his head, I think half a centimeter or a centimeter taller than this Bumblebee, but I think they scale pretty well together. To be really honest with you, I'm not really familiar with GoBots or the character actually. I've seen loads of eBay listings of this guy and always thought of the design to be quite cute and unique. But really I have to give a huge thank you to Quentin himself to help me figure out the details of this figure and to make it sort of more car accurate than I started off making him to be. So this was a quick commission and he was really fun to make. So as I mentioned, he was an articulated GoBots figure, so let's get into the articulation. The head is on a swivel. You can see the neck joint right there. His head goes up and down as well. The gun is removable. I've made it so there's a 4mm peg into the 4mm port. I printed the version with a sunroof and the sunroof with the peg to accommodate the gun, but I've made him a lot of different options. I think 3 actually, just not a lot, 3. So one option would be the head without the sunroof without the peg, and then the sunroof with a port so it could fit the gun. The gun is just a sort of a smaller replica of the original GoBots gun. It sort of acts as that sort of wind thing. I'm really not good at car parts, as you could tell from this video review and the Prowl one. He is a really sturdy figure. The arms are articulated as well, like that. This one's a bit tight, but this one articulates fine. The arms go out that way, bend here, and there is a biceps rotation there as well. The arms, to be honest, are a bit of a challenge for me when I started off, but I did manage to make it in sort of a day. It was a quick solution. Because of this sort of angle piece, at first this whole thing was one piece, and I was thinking, how on earth would I make it sort of angle upwards like this? And the solution was simply just to attach this hinge piece to that angle piece, and it worked out completely fine. It was rounded off so it would avoid this angle piece, and yeah, works completely fine. Another challenge I had with this figure is because it's quite small. If you see my other reviews, my other figures are about 14 to 16 centimeters tall on average, and this one is 10 and a half, 11 centimeters tall. So everything's a bit more compact here, so I have to think about the tolerances and stuff. And ultimately, that is the big reason why I'm really happy with this figure, is because I've managed to shrink everything down and make it work. Yep, the arms are, again, we've gone through the arm articulation. There, he has a huge amount of kick upwards and a just slightly backwards because of that bumper piece. It blocks his leg. Outwards, that much, 90 degrees. Thigh rotation, bends where the original GoBots toy bends. I first thought it would bend here, but it bends here. Completely fine. And then finally he has a ankle rocker as well. So yeah, let's get into the details real quick. The front you've seen, I've put in as much detail as I could to make it resemble the original toy, and this was basically what the attempt was a recreation of the original toy but make it articulated. And Quentin was such a nice client in the way that I had a lot of creative freedom, so I I copied the back from the original toy, and because this was hollow in that original toy, I had to make up new designs. So what I looked up was, I looked up the bottom of a Super Beetle and then copied that detail onto here as well. Now, as I mentioned before, there is a sort of special gimmick to this figure, and that is because when you look at this, the whole beetle is here. So I think since I've designed the whole beetle, I might as well make it sort of transform in a parts formery way, because I still struggle to think how I would make this small figure to transform. So I went the easy way. I made it parts form, so he can be a weaponizer if you want. I'll put a picture in the back. I'll put a picture in the end of the video, but he is a parts former, and it is just a special surprise, as he can pull off that beetle mode as well. So first off, pull the neck off. What you're left with is this neck piece. Hold this top and then just pull it out and separate it. It attaches through this peg and a port like that. There is cutouts right here to lock it into place. Just do that. When you pull it back in, you should hear like that sound. When I pull it out, it's easy to pull out as well. I did paint this part. I did paint all the yellow because the original yellow is this, which is just a really nasty yellowy white. And I'm not really fond of having a figure like that color. So I put that off to a side. Basically just take the arms off. Take the arms off here as well. Pull off the chest. It attaches with a port and a peg. Flip this peg inwards, and you're left with this piece. Actually, I'm really proud of how this piece turns out, especially with the paint. I'm really rusty with painting figures since I've started dyeing resin, so I'm really happy with how the finish is with this piece. We get to the body of the car, pull the waist out, again peg and port. That is why it can be a weaponizer. You flip this hinge out like that. I made sure it's like sort of extra tight, and the way I did it was I just put a bit of extra resin, and if it's FDM, then you put extra super glue in here just to make sure it's tight. So when you attach this car bit, it doesn't really wobble about. It attaches through this black piece. So just peg it in, and then there you have sort of the basics of a Super Beetle. I guess that's what the name is. Then you get the roof, which is the head. Same port, same peg, pegs it in. The wheels that are on the side of the legs, just pull out. Again, 5mm port, 5mm peg. Find the appropriate size, find the right side, and then pegs right in. The only compromise I had to do was this little wheel cutout, because when this part pegs into here, these wheels need sort of a clearance, and I don't want to make the chest wider than they should be, so this is why I had this little wheel cut out. And there you have the Super Beetle. So this is the Super Beetle mode, but then you've got all these sort of spare parts right here. Again, you can weaponize them. So let's take this off to a side, and he is tiny, because I guess without the legs and everything, he's like half the size. Yeah, he is tiny. He is tiny compared to this Activator's Bumblebee, which is a cliff jumper, but is Bumblebee's mold. Tiny, and let's put Super Sideburn here as well. Again, he dwarfs it. He is in scale with those like Legend scale toys, which I find quite cute. So final thoughts on Bug Bite. I love the design. I love the whole commission process. I really hope he enjoys the toy. This is the video showcase of my GoBots Bug Bite. The files will not be released. These are only for the client. These I wanted, every time I make a commission, I want to make it something special for the client so that they're the only one that has a unique copy of the toy, and it's sort of a rule that I stick by. Unless the client, sort of wants to release the files themselves afterwards, then it's their prerogative. But so far the client is the only person who's going to receive BugBite, the files. So thanks for watching, stay safe, and goodbye.